Now I know that people are going to be grossed out with this, for all the people who can't even stand the sight of slugs.
Grace.
This is
Slug.
a year's worth of gunk.
Can all my toys been eaten?
Your toys?
Okay guys, so this is what we're working with today. I can already see some slugs. Look at this guy. Way in the bottom of our compost bin. Now this has been brewing for maybe a year. At least a good half of it is going to be well rotted. But you can see we've got all these slugs. They absolutely love it in the compost bin. Getting nice and fat and juicy. Obviously we can't stand them, so hopefully I'll be able to get rid of a few of them today. Look at that, Abby.
Snail.
They're not snails, they're slugs. These are the guys that have been eating all of our veggies when we go to sleep. Gonna have to harvest some slugs today.
Harvest slugs?
Chop them down.
Chop them down?
Yes. Ooh, I found another one.
Look, there's some worms in here as well. Do you want to see some worms?
Yeah.
There's gonna be hundreds of thousands of them in there.
Oh my god.
They're the guys that's been breaking down all of the vegetables and the stuff that we've
loads
thrown.
of babies. Look at the big slugs.
Yeah, there's tons of slugs.
Why would you do that? Why?
We need some salt.
I wanted little one.
Should we try and catch some slugs?
Look at
They love it.
Oh. Now I know that people are going to be grossed out with this, for all the people who can't even stand the sight of slugs. Look at these guys, they're huge. This is where you've been hiding.
Wow, look at that one. I can see a worm there. Twisting, squatching out of his bag.
And then we can spread that, mix it into the soil before we start planting for the new season. And between the soil and the worms and everything else that lives in there, we should be able to get the rest of this broken down. Oh my word, you want to see slugs. Let me get in for a closer look. If you look on the inside around there, maybe show if you can catch this on the camera. There's so many. This is the problem with a compost bin. It's literally just like a club.
Are the slugs?
A slug!
It's not just gonna stay.
Of course it is.
Oh wow.
I
Alright.
need to take a picture of this one. Oh, the smell. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I see
You're
slugs.
enjoying this a little bit too much. Oh my god, this is gross.
Grace.
This is
Slug.
a year's worth of gunk.
Can all my toys been eaten?
Your toys? There's all different sorts of bugs there as well.
That's where the bugs live. Oh, look.
So this is the stuff that we're really after, this black stuff. Where this is so rich and nutritious for the plants. Better than any compost you'll buy in the supermarket, that's for sure. And even though it looks kind of messy and gross now, once I put this on the raised beds and literally mix it in, it it basically just dissipates and becomes like just a part of the soil really. And the worms will finish off the rest, and the roots of the plants absolutely gonna love this stuff. So yeah, the next thing is to shovel off the things that's on the top, and because we want the ones that are really at the bottom, those ones are more broken down. So any takers? No? They're awfully gross. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is to take off the top third, which is still yet to be biodegraded. That's going to be placed in a bucket, and we're going to put that back at the bottom for a few more months in order to be fully biodegraded. And then everything underneath, the darker color, which has predominantly been biodegraded, that will then be put into our wheelbarrow, and it'll be used to basically season our soil, as I like to put it, mixed into our compost in our raised beds, so that it can continue to enrich the soil. Now it's interesting that looking at the back of the compost bin, it's much more biodegraded, which is really nice. Lots of dark sort of sticky soil, and like I said, it may not be perfectly biodegraded. However, once it gets mixed into the soil, it's going to be absolutely rich and full of nutrients for the season to come. I want you guys to have a look at how many worms in this thing. It's crazy. As I started to take the top layer off, I didn't really believe that there would be so many worms at the very top. Hopefully the camera can focus. You can actually hear them, maybe if I keep quiet. You can actually hear the worms and see them moving along as they eat every last bit of all of this organic compost. They've got some more slugs there running away. Okay, so I've taken off as much as I'm willing to take off at the moment. The rest of this will now be divided, worms and all, and spread throughout my raised beds. I'll then mix this into the soil and leave it for the next 2 months, give or take, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, I am pretty certain based on previous experience that this will work wonders for the new crops that will be planted out this coming growing season. Now, like I said guys, this isn't for the faint of heart. Not everyone will enjoy doing jobs like this. You've got to really enjoy it. Hence why very few people keep compost bins. However, this stuff that is lurking in the bottom is absolutely black gold. And yeah, it's well worth every single effort. Don't take my word for it though. Perhaps give it a try. Okay, so this is what we've left with guys. It's starting to rain now, so I'm gonna have to put the camera away, but I'm gonna still crack on with spreading this stuff in our raised beds. Okay, so I've had to abandon ship because the rain started coming down a lot more than I'm willing to endure, so I've jumped into the greenhouse and I'm just watching and waiting, hoping that we'll have a little break in the rain so I can go and start spreading that stuff in our raised beds. So we've got a few raised beds. We've got this massive one here in the garden. We've also got our veggie raised bed just over there, which we're going to top up. And I've deliberately not brought the soil to the very top of the actual raised bed, and that is to allow allow us to build up a few layers over the years of compost on top, sort of homegrown, homemade, shall I say, organic compost. We've also got a couple raised beds, one in the courtyard around the back closer to the house, and of course along the walkway. So I've definitely got a lot of area to cover, but I've also got a lot of compost. So yeah, I mean, this stuff is absolutely stinky at the minute. So I'm looking forward to mixing this into the soil. And like I said, you always want to try and do this weeks and weeks in advance, to allow it time to settle in and to break down, you know, to sort of like get balanced in the actual soil. And so that's what we're doing now, as we're currently in mid-February at the moment. Okay, so thank God the rain's held up, and now what I'm doing is actually clearing our raised bed from all of this sort of top dressing that we had here, so that the soil can be exposed, and then we can throw in some of this compost before later on mixing it all in. Great workout, and you can already see the soil is being transformed and is looking a lot better. Okay guys, so this is exactly what I'm looking for, mixing in the new, not quite fully 100% well rotted compost. However, it doesn't really matter at this stage. The main thing is that most of it has been broken down. I'll now mix it into the soil, and as you can see, you've hardly noticed that it's in there, and in the coming weeks most of this will decay, broken down by the worms and all of the microorganisms, and then it will just basically become a part of the soil, making it super rich. And underneath this raised bed is quite free draining because we've got boulders and rocks and bricks underneath. So yeah, it's really a nice medium to grow stuff in, as you can see from some of our older videos from last year. I'm going to do the same with every single raised bed. Yes, this does take some time, but it's fantastic cardio. I'm probably a bit out of breath from all the digging. Honestly, it is well worth it. Forget about going to the gym, you know, eating healthily, growing your own vegetables, and working out in the garden. It's just the perfect combination, if you ask me. So if you've never tried something like this before, now is the time to do so. And trust me when I say that this soil is going to be absolutely amazing this year. So I'm going to leave this video here guys, because it's starting to rain again, and I'm going to crack on with getting all of this done. At least these two raised beds here and the other Vegica raised bed, and then we'll just leave it for the rain to fall on it, get it nice and compact, for the worms to do their thing, and within a month and a bit this will be ready for planting out our first crops.